Hi, I'm Daniel, and Dan Povenmire previously created shows such as Phineas and Ferb and Mile Murphy's Yaw, and this is his third show. Both the previous two were co-created by Jeff Swampy March. Now it's just him as the creator. The show's original concept art didn't yuck the rest with the title of Hamster and Gretel. I don't like the pain Hamster and Gretel because it doesn't go tongue well, especially with the amount of yesteryears. Now I found the show's title. There's 10 episodes out, which are probably the minimum amount for a proper review. So, does this show seem much apart to the previous shows? Or is that a severe downgrade? The story has quite a quick start to the show. Piotr is that an alien spaceship says they'll grant superpowers to two people. Scythian's Kevin and Gretel thinks it's for them, but is referring to Hamster instead, so Kevin is left out. Get what is probably a timeskip, where they are now an iconic superhero duo and Kevin manages behind the scenes. Stories often involve facing a new vein for comedic purposes, and their life as a family. The comedy is funny, which all three shows have in common. It's a more self-aware style, not needing for every joke to be understood by the main target audience of kids. It also plays around with what situation the show is in. It is more contained by premise than the other two. It is still a consistently funny show. When I was first watching these episodes, I was in the middle of watching another Disney superhero show. Big Hero 6 the series, cause I made a 55-minute video about it, that part doesn't matter. I was currently overthinking the secret identity part, for how obvious it should be, but Hamster and Gretel treats that aspect more like a joke. We both yuck and are named Gretel the same, and some characters will know share a pet hamster, however, it's a joke that no one knows and I find it funny. The episode plots are fast paced, which I can imagine some may find as a problem. Slow pace works often, but I think this can too. Each episode has multiple plots to go through, but what makes everything work. There's a sign for a potentially bigger story with the aliens. The concept had been done before in both things for Mile Murphy's Yaw, but this looks to be different. You don't see what the aliens look like, it's only the ship, but they turn them superheroes as well as creating villains to match. It's currently up in the air why they are doing this, but I think it's going to be their entertainment. Like the audience, the aliens are watching what happens. Bringing superpowers into Earth, for better or for worse, be used to produce a show for aliens to watch. Maybe something self-aware like that. That's just my theory on it. It was also revealed in a Yates episode out of the ones we have so far. There is two aliens in the ship. There is a teacher overarching story that would likely be addressed in the season 1 finale, but this show has fun with episodic stories and avoids a common problem my series shows. For example, earlier this year with the Netflix show Dead End Paranormal Park, I really liked the story elements near the season's end, but the episodic part felt forced to make the pace seem even more slow. On the other hand, Hamster and Gretel is working being an episodic comedic superhero show with potential to go further. The animation is a problem for how your quality and still to the designs are. It looks like the previous show's style, but somehow worse. The colors are too light, like Gretel's suit in the background having poor lighting. Most of the time the animation doesn't work, it's not quite distracting, but it's the weakest part of the show. Now for the characters, the main lead is in the title, and that is Kevin. It's still the thing with responsibilities. I like how the jealousy wasn't a major story plot, and he helps manage Gretel. The dynamic is good, and I like how Kevin is the cynical one. Gretel isn't a standout for being a child character with not much more, but there's room to. It was confirmed to have ADHD, meaning that she can occasionally be reckless seeming, which also has the positive traits of a superhero. So her character can be entertaining interacting in the new vein of the episode. I like the family focus with the sibling dynamic. It's not just a copy of Candace and Phineas, but something new. Parents are also motivating great characters with good interactions as well. Even without that much screen time, they aren't just a typical mother and father character. Hamster is a supporting character who is often a one-liner. Not the level of fair, but that's expected, and I would still say Hamster is a good depiction of an animal character. I know this show always has a lot of sarcastic characters, but Fred is also great. He is Kevin's friend who knows their secret and helps out the team when needed, who has very specific skills. Good addition to the cast. Bailey is Gretel's friend, and the main joke for her is not noticing the superhero is the same person. He is an alright character. It's good to have someone for non-superhero Gretel to interact with. Romy is Kevin's love interest, but is shown to have more personality than that. More like Jeremy from Phineas and Ferb, but the character has personality and is just like an average person. It's different what the other person builds up they will be. Villains are fine, not really recurring material from what I can tell, but funny with a unique concept. Joe already has quite a good cast of characters that I can imagine will only increase. Currently isn't much of a side story like Doofen's Myrtle, Candace and Dakota. Hamster and Gretel also has frequent songs didn't even think about before watching. Theme song has a good tune, and the iconic lyrics include young words like describing a hamster as a domesticated rodent. Also like the Yas sign of, and also Kevin in the minivan. The Seattle episodes so far were already a lot of great songs. Rio, The Grid, Tradition, Fighting Facial Hair, Ye Korea, Steal from the Bank, and the Rap Battle all stand out for one reason or another. Lionel Murphy's Your Deck has some amazing songs I went over in this countdown. Can't help but feel about half the songs were forgettable and held down by a space voice singing. Yeah, it's the characters that are singing often and it's great. Problem outside the show itself is the soundtrack. It doesn't have every song when it might as well have, and most haven't even happened yet. It should have released in smaller groups or just wait for the season to finish to release the album. I haven't listened to them because I'm waiting to see them in context, but it's a potential spoil or just one episode thing. If you're worried that I might spoil something, skip ahead 10 seconds. Evan sings a very nice song called I Can Be Bad. Was the second I mentioned April Fool's he actually correct? Okay, enough about that being a couple of spoil yet. This is a good show that I enjoy and I'm excited for more to release. Think more might have as I was writing. I would say it's weak in the first two Dan Povenmire shows. When you compare it to very early Phineas and Ferb, probably around the same quality and I hope it gets better. Some parts are rough around the edges, but I'll round my rating up because I want to. In conclusion, I give Hamster and Gretel 8 out of 10 and I recommend watching it. First 3 episodes is on YouTube, the first 4 episodes are now on Disney+. Want this show to succeed, and it already had the best testing Disney prior since Phineas and Ferb, that was 15 years ago. And Povenmire had said that if season 3 is renewed, it will be a crossover of all 3 shows, which sounds great. I understood the criticism that My Murphy's York couldn't do its own and was setting a crossover all along. Still great, but I'm past mourning the Yaka season 3. It would be good if that happened, but it didn't end on a cliffhanger. Hamster and Gretel seems more focused on doing its own thing, while capturing the style of Phineas and Ferb. I don't know how agreed upon this take is, but Disney TV has been the best network in the past decade. Feels like every show is either great or influential. If you enjoyed this video, I made others about Phineas and Ferb and other animations, so consider pressing subscribe. Next video will be starting a new series on this channel. The end.